The moon hung low over the quiet suburban street, casting long shadows across manicured lawns and neatly parked cars. Officers Daniels and Smith sat in their patrol car, the radio murmuring static and dispatch updates in the background. It was an uneventful night, just as most nights in this affluent neighborhood tended to be. Daniels peered out the window and pointed. "Look at that, Smith. What's a black woman doing in this neighborhood at this hour?" Smith frowned, squinting into the darkness. "Must be up to no good. Let's check it out." They pulled over, their car's lights flashing ominously. On the sidewalk, a well-dressed woman stood beside her car, illuminated by the streetlight. Speaking on her phone, she glanced at the officers with a mixture of surprise and apprehension as they approached. Daniels stepped out first, his tone sharp. "Ma'am, can we see some ID?" The woman, Maya Johnson, frowned and tucked her phone away. "Is there a problem, officers?" Smith crossed his arms. "Just show us your ID," he snapped. Maya sighed and reached into her purse, handing over her driver's license. Daniels examined it, his eyes narrowing. "Maya Johnson," he read aloud, his tone laced with suspicion. "What are you doing in this neighborhood?" "I live here," Maya replied calmly. "My car broke down, and I'm waiting for a tow truck." Smith's lips thinned. "We've had reports of suspicious activity around here. Are you sure you're not involved in anything illegal?" Maya's patience frayed. "I'm a judge, I'm quite sure." Daniels let out a mocking laugh. "A judge, huh? We'll see about that. Turn around, hands behind your back." Maya hesitated, her expression hardening. "This is unnecessary." "Do it," Daniels barked. Reluctantly, she complied. The cold steel of the cuffs bit into her wrists as they led her to the squad car. The holding cell was dim and cold, its walls marked by years of graffiti and wear. Maya sat on the bench, her back straight and her demeanor calm. Around her, the hum of the station buzzed with routine activity. Smith approached the cell, leaning against the bars with a smug grin. "So, Judge," he said, his tone dripping with mockery, "how does it feel to be on the other side of the law?" Maya's gaze didn't waver. "You'll find out soon enough," she replied evenly. Smith chuckled, but there was a flicker of unease in his eyes. He turned and walked away, leaving Maya alone with her thoughts. Her composure belied the storm of emotions within. She knew her rights had been trampled, and she intended to ensure accountability. As hours dragged by, Maya's mind replayed the night's events. The humiliation and injustice only fueled her resolve. When her lawyer arrived to secure her release, she walked out of the station with her head held high, a quiet determination radiating from her. Weeks later, the courtroom was packed. Officers Daniels and Smith sat at the defendant's table, their expressions tense. The charges against them, racial profiling and misconduct, hung heavily in the air. The bailiff's voice rang out. "All rise," the Honorable Judge Maya Johnson presiding. Daniels and Smith's heads snapped up in unison, their faces paled as Maya entered, clad in her judicial robes. She took her seat at the bench, her expression unreadable. "Officers Daniels and Smith," she began, her voice steady. "It seems we've met before." Daniels stammered. "Your Honor, we didn't know." Maya raised a hand, silencing him. "That I'm a judge? Does that make your actions that night any less wrong?" Smith's voice was shaky. "We were just doing our job, ma'am, Your Honor." Maya's gaze was unrelenting. "Your job is to protect and serve all citizens, not to harass them based on the color of their skin." The courtroom was silent as she delivered a powerful speech about justice, equality, and the weight of responsibility borne by those in positions of authority. The jury's deliberation was swift. When they returned, the foreperson rose to deliver the verdict. "We, the jury, find the defendants guilty of racial profiling and misconduct." Maya nodded, her expression firm but calm. "Officers Daniels and Smith, you have betrayed the trust of the community you were sworn to serve. I sentence you to 6 months of community service and mandatory racial sensitivity training. Perhaps then you will learn the true meaning of justice." As the gavel struck, the courtroom erupted in applause. Daniels and Smith stood with their heads bowed, the weight of their actions finally sinking in. Later that evening, Maya sat in her chambers, the day's events replaying in her mind. Her phone buzzed with a message from her mentor, "Proud of you, Maya. Justice was served, *." She smiled, a deep sense of fulfillment settling over her. Rising, she walked to the window, gazing out at the city. Its lights shimmered in the darkness, a reminder of the countless stories unfolding within its streets. Maya whispered to herself, one step closer to a fairer world. The fight for justice was far from over, but tonight, a victory had been won, and for Maya, that was enough to keep going. Thank you for watching until the very end. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more inspiring stories. Have a wonderful day.